Thank you, Dhruvadeep. So good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you to the Unicorn Voices Toastmaster Club meeting. My name is Satyaki, and it is pleasure to be the first speaker, the Sergeant at Arms, for today's wonderful meeting. Today, I like to remind all of you that 2 days ago, from now, there was a deadly train accident happened in Odisha, which took away approximately 300 lives and left numerous people wounded terribly. I feel all the political parties should come forward to help the victims of the train accident instead of making a blame game. I like to urge all of the club members to maintain silence for 1 minute, if possible. Dhruvadeep, is it possible for 1 minute if we keep maintain silence for the people who lost their lives in the accident?
Yes, definitely we can. I can count the type of time.
Okay, so the time starts now.
Yeah, 1 minute is up. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So now, before we begin our meeting, let's have the guidelines of our meeting. Dhruvadeep, yeah, I can see. So I'll just read out the disclaimer and the rules of our meeting. By attending this remote club area division district speech contest, you agree to the privacy policy of the Toastmasters International, as well as the associated remote hosting service. Some of your personal information, such as name, image, and any shared messages, may be recorded by Toastmasters International, who may use the recording in future as it sees fit. Your remote attendance hereby discharges Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, and liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recording, including but not limited to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Next page, please. The rules for SA to start. So the SA may read out the following. Okay, so this, please stay on mute except while you are speaking. Please do not share any content on the screen. In case you will be keeping your videos on as an audience member, please be seated in a well-lit room and avoid any movement while your video is on. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Dhruvadeep. So now, though it is the time to invite the president of our club, I think no one can deny his timely help before any meeting. So if you want to know something in Toastmaster Club or in our club, so you just reach out to him. He will be the best person. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hands together to welcome our president, Dhruvadeep Mitra. Dhruvadeep, the podium is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Satyaki, with a warm welcome. Welcome to our 88th meeting of Unicorns Voices Toastmaster Club. Today, we have gathered together to learn about people, learn about public speaking, share ideas among ourselves, network among ourselves, and that is the reason why we have named this particular meeting as Amplify version 1.0. Today, I stand before you as the president of this remarkable Toastmasters Club filled with pride and excitement. I am deeply honored to welcome each and every one of you to this wonderful community of growth, learning, and transformation. Toastmasters meeting is not limited to one particular session. It is a gateway to personal and professional development, a place where dreams are nurtured and aspirations are realized. So with this, on a positive note, I again welcome all my dear fellow Toastmasters and all my guests. But before I pass the podium to the next person, I want to ask some of the guests about your feedback, your expectation from the meeting, and a couple of words about yourself. So today we have quite a few number of guests. So I'll just call maybe couple or three people just to introduce yourself and uh, tell us about your expectation. So first, I will call Medha Kumari. Medha Kumari, if you can come on the podium and introduce yourself in a one-liner and just state the expectation why you joined the meeting today.
Hello everyone, this is Medha Kumari. I am from Patna Toastmasters Club, and I think this is my I'm attending second meeting of Unicorn Toastmasters Club, and that's all from my side. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Medha, for joining us today. Next, we have our guest, Lai. Lai, if you can come on the podium and introduce yourself and let us know your expectation of the meeting. Lai, are you able to hear us? Okay, no problem. Lai might be facing some technical issues. I'll go to our guest, Azhar Othman. If you can come on the podium and share a one-liner about yourself and your expectation from the meeting. Azhar, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Azhar Osman. I'm from Labuan Toastmasters Club in Malaysia, District 87. I am just curious about this club, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure I'll enjoy the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us from Malaysia. We are so happy to have you in the meeting and hope we meet your expectation today. Thank you. Okay, so with that, okay, we have another guest Naveen Parwal. Naveen, if you can come on the podium and introduce yourself and expectation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Actually, I saw the meeting link at one of the WhatsApp groups, and my name is Naveen Parwal, and I'm joining in from Pink City, Jaipur. Yep, and it's always a pleasure to attend Toastmasters meeting wherever it is held, and yep. So I look forward to having a fruitful meeting and learning something or the other from this meeting. Like I'll be online only for the next 30 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope we meet your expectation and you get to learn from something from this meeting. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so with that, I'll stop blabbering and I'll pass the next baton to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, who has a surprise in store for you guys to look into. And let's see, let's not wait anymore and let's call on the podium our Toastmaster of the day, Savita. Savita, the podium is yours.
Thank you, President Dupradeep, and good evening, everyone, and to all our fellow Toastmasters, guests who are part of this meeting, locally from India as well as internationally. So a warm welcome to our 88th meeting of the day. And the meeting, like Drupadeep mentioned, it's an Amplify 1.0. So that's what this meeting carries all about. My name is Savita Gupta. I am the Toastmaster of the day. Aap sabki host and dost. So let me take you through, and then what, when this meeting was, when I was being awarded with a role of a Toastmaster of the day, and then I had not a very much time to think about it because I was on a business travel. And, I thought of, thinking of some theme that is very similar to, very familiar to all of us, and considering where we are, the theme that I chose was the summer food, right? So I'm sure each one of you, while must have heard this or read this theme, must be wondering what is summer food. I have heard summer vacation, summertime. Now this is something called as summer food, right? So I didn't want it to. I know everybody enjoys the summer vacation in India. So people who are international, like Mr. Razar, this is for you. We are into a summer vacation, summer mode in India, where we are off from school, off from any activities, and it's just time to spend time with our children, go for outings, etc. So that's the summertime for us, and we are almost like close to ending of the summer period, and we would be getting into monsoon very soon. I'm sure in few states the monsoons has already started to come in welcome, but in Mumbai, where I'm based, the monsoon is far away. I'm really looking forward to get in some rain and relieve myself from the summery weather. Right. So, little bit on, summer food. What is summer food basically, right? So there are many types of summer foods, right? You must have heard here. So why, did you also ever heard or tried to, understand why there is a separate category of food which is related only to summer food? Maybe anybody want to talk about it? Give me, why is there a separate category of food called as summer food? Any guesses and any examples of any seasonal summer foods for the season?
Mango.
Yeah. Okay,
Mango.
go ahead. Go ahead. So yeah, Satyaki, go ahead.
Yeah, I love the summer. I love the summer because of the mango only.
Wow.
Corrado.
Right.
Because the
Razak,
mango is the only fruit. Sorry.
yeah, go
Yeah, so
ahead. Please go
mango
ahead.
is the only fruit which you cannot get outside the summer period. So you can get apple throughout the year. You can get other fruits throughout the year. Mango will be typical, totally seasonal. So that's why I love summer.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I am with you, Satyaki, on that because I am a mango lover. Right. So I can see Joy also in the meeting. Joy, you want to talk about what is good about summer food? Any of your feedback?
The previous speaker already spoke about it, Toastmaster of the evening, and it's because of the mangoes. I love
Oh,
mangoes.
really?
I have
Wow,
a
we
lot
have
of
quite
mangoes.
a lot of mango lovers in the room. I'm gonna enjoy, and just to let you know, we just had, mangoes in our lunch also. I mean, it's all through the day.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Right. So like, and then, did you also try to understand, all of you, why there is a separate category called as summer food, and what is summer food? Maybe I'll give you a little bit on that. So the summer food, okay, considering that we are getting into a different set of climatic condition, okay, this summer foods basically helps the immune system, right? And
To
this
acclimatize according to the weather.
exactly, yes, exactly. Because at this season, your immunity or your digestive system is not so great, right? So it is basically not very well prepared, and it's on a lighter side. So just to digest, considering the digestive system also weakens, the summer foods is light on stomach. It keeps you hydrated, right? So that is the reason this category of summer food has been developed. I was actually Googling some stuff, okay, just to see what summer foods are. I could see hundreds and thousands of recipe that comes out of summer food. So just imagine the level of summer food, getting into a different connotation altogether. So yes, considering we have low appetite in this climatic condition, this system, just to soothe our system as well as to become more friendly and accumulated to, there is a boost of summer food that comes in that helps you to boost the system. So, and it also helps to maintain the immunity system so that one person can stay healthy for longer periods of time. it basically it is for all the age groups. So that's what the summer foods are all about. We will talk about more on the summer foods as we grow throughout the day today. Rather, I would really want to keep you engaged over here, and I have a question for all of you, which I may come back any time of the day. Okay, so I put here one example of summer foods, that is mango, but I don't think mango is what it's the only one for summer food, right? I expect some more.
Watermelon.
Oh,
Lychee.
Yeah,
oh
there is
yeah,
chas also, which people have in summer. Then
absolutely, absolutely.
there is
So what I do,
kokum sharbat.
absolutely. So that's where the Konkan foods of Maharashtra is coming from. So I like it, Veena. So yes, there are a couple of summer foods that is there. I would like the audience to basically think about it, share one experience that you love and cherish about summer food, and which is your favorite food and why do you love it, right? So let's come back to this question as we grow onto the session. But I would like to take a pause here and invite. So basically, what, just talk about this meeting that we will have through the day. So this meeting, as it is, this meeting will be, divided into many pieces together. So we would be having a Toastmaster sessions as well, right? Which in this session, I have one of the greatest host of the Toastmaster session, which is Mr. Tubadeep. He will talk more about this session. So we're going to have one part of the session called as Toastmaster session, followed by couple of speakers who would come on board and give us an insight of various topics that they have carried. So I was, wanting to know what is the content of the topic, but sorry, they didn't tell me. Rather, they wanted to tell all of us on the floor. So let's keep, our ears and eyes open to talk about what's getting, unboxed in today's evening by our, greatly, awesome speakers tonight. So we would be having, the speakers session followed by a keynote speaker of the day. So this session is basically ends with a keynote speaker who will talk about her experiences, right? And then we will end the session by a general evaluator feedback. So at this moment, I would like to probably, give a little introduction about the toaster by about the general evaluator first, so that he's also onboarded. After that, we will go to our Toastmaster of the session, right? So our general evaluator for the day is none other than, any guesses, is Rajeshri Roy, right? So I mean, whenever this role comes in, he's always there. So it's Mr. Rajeshri Roy, who is the general evaluator for the day. A little bit about him. But I'm sure whatever I'll say, it's, very little bit, like I said, it's very little bit about him, but definitely, I really want to give a line or two about him. So he has almost like 10 years of experience in theater. And I'm sure once you hear him speak, you will feel that, expressions, that comes from through his voice, his facial expression, all theoretically. Yes. As a Toastmaster, he is representing our club, which is UVTC, at district level humorous speech contest and secured a podium finish as a first runner position. So a huge round of clap to our general evaluator for the day. Rajeshri, are you there on the stage, please?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. First of all, let me just ask you, am I audible?
Yes, you are very much audible, but we can't see you today. I just spoke about, theoretical expressions, etc.
I promise I'm going to have my camera on, but the next time I come onto the podium, actually I'm traveling at the moment, so my network is shaky. So
Right.
I'll be home within the next 30 minutes or so. So just bear with my Doordarshan voice at the moment. And I'll come on video when I present my report. But thank you very much for your kind words. And once again, welcome one and all to the meeting. I, as already mentioned by Madam TMOD, will be the general evaluator for today. And as the name suggests, I am going to be holistically evaluating the entire session, right from the time our Sergeant at Arms started till the time our President declares the meeting as closed. And so my responsibility has already started, and it is a humongous task in itself. and I can't do it all by myself. So I have a brilliant tag team, as I say. So I would like to call them one by one, and I would request my tag team players to come onto the podium and introduce themselves and their roles to everyone present in the meeting room. Starting off with the timer for today, can I please request everyone to put your hands together for our timer for today, Toastmaster Shornabo. Please put your hands together for our timer, Toastmaster Shornabo. Over to you, Shornabo.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. So I am that timer for the evening, as the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Time is just a four-letter word, but our whole life revolves around time. Just let me share a childhood memory with you about time. Why so much time is crucial for us, and why Toastmasters always give a kind of emphasis on time. It's a Monday morning and our school starts at 8:40 a.m. I'm just late for just 1 minute. But ladies and gentlemen, I was not allowed to enter the premises. That thing taught me the value of 60 seconds of our life. So a man or a woman who doesn't value time, their life become valueless. That is a core lesson that Toastmasters teaches us. So my role being a timer is to keep a note of all the speakers who are coming on the podium and sharing their speeches or the prepared speech. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes for the icebreaker. The time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. And for the table topics, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds at the end. And for the evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes and with a grace period of minimum 30 seconds before the qualifying time and after the qualifying time. Right now, I am going to share my screen to show the timer cards with you. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So please show a thumbs up if my screen is visible. Yeah, that's great. So at the first minimum qualifying time, this screen would be shown. And at the midpoint of the qualifying time, this screen would be shown. And till at the maximum of the qualifying time, till the speaker doesn't leave the podium, this card will be shown. And I will present my report when called upon by the legendary evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shornabo. Now we move on to my second tag team player for today. Ladies and gentlemen, this person has recently joined me in the same city, the Silicon Valley of India. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Tulika as our counter for today. Over to you, Toastmaster Tulika.
I'm sorry for the background noise. First of all, my baby is crying. So today my role is as our counter. Okay, so sorry, I got distracted actually. So basically, while speaking, many of us are very fluent in speaking, but while speaking, we use some of the words like so, but, and some short pauses and long pauses, which really affects our speech and conversation. So here I am today playing the role of an counter. We'll be noting down all the clutch words and words like and but, and I will represent my report to the general evaluator when I will be called upon to do so. Thank you, and over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tulika. And ladies, last but definitely not the least, my final tag team player, the man who's wearing multiple hats today. Please put your hands together for our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep Mitra. Over to you, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Usually when you hear the term grammarian, you remember your childhood school teacher, English teacher, right? The scale and ready to hit you anytime, right? But not me. I'm not like a strict teacher. I'm a very cool grammarian, and I'm here to guide you in every possible way to use proper sentences and structure proper phrases. So as a grammarian, my responsibility is to pay attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take a note of any misuses of English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. And as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day for today is whimsical. I repeat, whimsical. The meaning of the word whimsical is acting or behaving in a capricious manner, especially in an appealing and amusing way. So if you want to use it as an example in a sentence, you can use it as a whimsical sense of humor. So I'll be posting the word of the day in the Zoom chat for everyone to refer to, and I hope you use it in your speeches. And I'll be back again when the general evaluator calls me to present the report. Till then, hope you have a wonderful meeting. Thank you so much. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. And now with the introductions of my tag team players complete, I'm absolutely certain that all of them are going to be completely responsible in their roles and not whimsical at all. And they are going to be presenting wonderful reports at the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, me and my tag team players will be back at the end with the evaluation reports in the evaluation section. Till then, I pass the baton back to the lady of the hour, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Savita Gupta. The stage is yours. Toastmaster Savita.
Oh, so thank you, Rajeshri, and thank you to all the tech team members. I am whimsical that the session will be very, exciting. And I am looking, and I'm also scared as well, right? Because when the sessions of general evaluator come, I am also, very scared of this part of the session. So thank you very much, and we all look forward to your feedback at the end of the session. So, like I said earlier, we would be, starting with the Toastmaster table topic session first, right? And what we've done is the table topic session will be divided into two parts. So we will have part one, which will be, hosted right away, followed by a speaker one who would be on stage speaking on the topic. We continue with the table topic session as part two, and then we will have the speaker two on the floor, right? So having said that, please allow me to welcome our table topic master, who is none other than, and one of my favorite table topic master, right? Because I am very glued to all his topics. So that's none other than Mr. Dhrupadeep Mitra. Before I hand over the podium to him, just a few words about him, right? So he is a foodie. When I say foodie, the word literally comes to my mind. Any Bengali is a foodie. So he's a Bengali with food as a character, right? He loves playing cricket and table tennis. I think that's the reason he is very fond of table topic, right? Because he loves to play table tennis. He's an IT specialist, have been in the Toastmaster, I think for almost like 2 years now. And he's currently serving as the president of Unicorn Voice Master Toastmaster Club. He's been a great support and a guide to me throughout, since I've joined my Toastmaster session. So thank you, Trubadi, for all your support that you've, provided to me. Having said that, I would like to welcome you to the podium and would like to hand over the stage and mic to you and for your role of a table topic master. So thank you, Trubadi. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is a game. You never know what will happen next, right? So it's better to be prepared for the worst. And most of us here have the fear of public speaking, right? But at the same time, we aspire to become great orators. Then why not use this opportunity to better ourselves. And thankfully, we have this session called table topic session, where speakers get an opportunity to come on the podium and think on their feet. In this session, we will have everyone, even the guests can also participate. The only benefit the guests will get is that they can change the topic once if they are not confident about it. Each speaker will get 1 to 2 minutes time to share their thoughts. At 1 minute, our timer will show the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, our timer will show the yellow card. And finally, at 2 minutes, our timer will show the red card. And each speaker will get a grace period of 30 seconds. I also encourage you to use the word of the day, that is whimsical. And as the Toastmaster of the day informed, this table topics session will be divided into 2 parts, half now and half after one speech. So without further ado, I want nominations from each and every one of you, because it is going to be very engaging and the topics are very thought-provoking. So I encourage all of you to come on the podium and nominate yourself, and let's see, let's share ideas all around. So can I see any raise of hands? Okay, our timer has raised the hand. Anyone else? I need 4 people for this session as of now. If 4 people can raise their hand, I can start the session. Come on, guys. There's no need to worry. There's no need to feel bad. Just come on the podium. Just speak your heart out. There's no one here to judge. Only people are there to encourage you and guide you in a right direction. Okay, perfect. So we have 4 people raising their hands. Keep your hands raised so that I can keep on track of it. So first, I will call upon the stage our guest Azhar. So let me just spotlight him. Okay. Give me one moment. I'll share my screen to present the topic. Yeah. Perfect. Guest Azhar, stepping out of comfort zone. Stepping out of comfort zone. Guest Azhar.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Such an interesting statement. Many of us are scared of doing something we are not comfortable with. But without going outside our comfort zone, we are not going to get better. We're not going forward. We're not getting anything more from ourselves. To be the best version of ourselves, we need to get out of our comfort zone. For example, just a few weeks ago, I was in a strange conference with strange people, but it was a big conference at ASEAN level, Southeast Asia. I was there just as an observer, but out of the blue, I was asked a question. Just like table topics, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know that I was going to be asked a question. But somehow, because I wasn't scared, because I need to level up, I dared to answer that question in front of all strangers, very senior executives. And after 5 minutes, I got a good applause, big hand from all of them. It was such a relief because I was scared. But that's how we go out of comfort zone. That's how we move up the ladder. As whimsical as it may seem, we need to go up. We need to confront our fear and be the best. Otherwise, we won't know anything about it. How about you? Don't just sit there comfortably. Go out and step out of your comfort zone so that you will be a better version of yourself. Thank you very much, Topic Master.
Can we have a big round of applause for Azhar? Wonderfully articulated and wonderfully shared the thought how stepping out of your comfort zone can make you achieve wonders. Thank you so much for coming to the meeting and participating in table topics today. Thank you. Okay, next we'll go to our guest live. Let me spotlight him. Perfect. Let me share the topic with you. Just a second. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Toastmaster Live. The best advice received. The best advice received. Toastmaster Live.
Just do whatever you want. That's the best advice that I've received from my mentor when I joined Toastmaster. When she told me that words, at first I don't even understand what did she mean. Just do whatever I want as the club president at that time. I was thinking, should I just do this and do that? Should I ask opinion or no? I have no clue at all when I took out the role. And there's one time she suddenly called me up and meet me. And when she shared her story, in the end, she said this word to me, just do whatever you want. At that time, I slowly take time to understand what she meant. Even there are times I ask her, what does she mean? Try to figure it out yourself. That's what she told me. As time progressed, I slowly understand. When we are making decisions, there are things many to consider. And when we're leading, even like, not just in a club, in our life, our family, the decision is always up to us. What is the best decision that we can come out of that benefit us and others? If you believe that is the best decision you can do and make the result of it, go ahead. Even if there are people against you for that decision. They are not in your shoes. They are not in your position. They don't know what is happening. You are in their position and you must make the decision. So if you are in a position that you are, think of it that whatever you want. Think of the best result, best decision that you can make. The most important thing is it benefits you first. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Can we have a big round of applause for life? Wonderfully articulated, Toastmaster Lai, with that thought. And I remember when I was learning table tennis. Table tennis is, mind you, not easy to learn. You have to hold the bat properly. You have to move in a way so that you can hit the ball. So at one point in time, I was not able to figure out how to produce the forehand serve. At that time, I received the best advice of my life, that believe in yourself. If you are stuck somewhere, look inside yourself. What can you do to improve it? What can, instead of just sitting there and worrying about it, look into yourself. What can you do to make it interesting? And there you go. The next couple of weeks, I figured it out and I could play the forehand serve. So with this, I got my about my life lesson as well. If you are stuck somewhere, if you are stuck in a job, if you are stuck in your life, if you are stuck in your career, if you are stuck in your business, just look into yourself and you will definitely find a way. Thank you so much, Lai, for attending today's session, and hope you have a happy rest of the session. Thank you. Okay, next we move on to Toastmaster Veena. Let me spotlight her. Okay. Let me share your topic. Toastmaster Veena, your personal mantra and its influence. Your personal mantra and its influence, Toastmaster Veena.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the topic. So, the personal mantra for me is follow your instinct. And the impact for it is like it's always been, as a person, I've been trying different roles from the time I've started my career. So, I if I follow my instinct and I feel like it leads me to a place where I am today. I joined my career as uh, I joined my career like from the finance. I have done my commerce graduation, and from there, when I started following my instinct, understanding how finance goes through, how the application works, and all. From there, what I felt is like the application had many flaws in it, and that's when I followed my instinct. I did a course into testing, and I moved my career from a finance background to a IT background. Okay, I was there into that career for almost 10 years. From there, what I felt is like that was the instinct which came to me that I should be moving a ladder up in my role, and that's where agile was into uh, agile was in and I started going through agile, and I started taking a role of a scrum master. So that's how I've been progressing in my career. So this is a personal advice to everybody is follow your own instinct, which will help you to lead. There might come difficulties, there might come like you might get stuck somewhere or something, but do not lose your hope. If you follow your instinct, you will be able to achieve whatever you have to in your life. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, table topic master.
Can you have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Veena? Wonderfully said. Yes, I can understand that switching from one career path to the next another career is a tough task. Not only it is tough, but it is also a brave decision that you take in your career. So wonderfully articulated, and wish you all the best in your career, in your new career path. Thank you so much. Okay, with that, I feel that the energy is a bit up. Energy of the room is a bit up. Toastmaster Swarnava and Toastmaster Arijit, I'll come back to you in the second part of the table topic session. But for now, let's hear some prepared speakers. So back to you, table topic, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Dhrubadeep, and thank you for all the toast table topic speakers. I think the topic was so apt that says that get out of your comfort zone, and that's what I'm doing, out of my comfort zone, taking up the role of a TMOD. So thank you for such an inspiring topic where I really wanted to participate, but that's what I'm feeling today. So thank you so much. Right, so before we get into the first speaker of the day, I just, I had left a question to the audience, right? Just to check on, other than mangoes and lychee, what other summer foods that you guys cherish, and if you can name them and why. Can I have, I can see Toastmaster Baisakhi. Can you please tell me what is the favorite summer food for you that you love to cherish during the season? Toastmaster Baishaki? Okay, looks like there's a problem. No worries. Can I ask Azhar, what is the summer food that you cherish in Malaysia? What is the summer cuisine that you cherish in Malaysia? You are on mute.
Yes,
go ahead.
thank you very much for that question. Firstly, we don't have summer or any other seasonal food because most foods are around throughout the year. But if you ask me just one fruit that I love the most, I don't know whether you have heard this. It's called durian.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Now I am eager. I'm eager to
Okay,
know, and could you describe a little bit more?
Yeah, our TTM knows that. To me, we call it the king of fruits.
Okay.
It is a smelly fruit to some, but to us, it is the most delicious fruit, and it is expensive. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. But I could see Pallavi writing that she's heard about the fruit, but she's never tasted it. Pallavi, then you know where to go, right? So we already have Azhar, and you could move yourself to Malaysia to taste
Please
that.
do. Please come.
Absolutely. It's a date.
Okay, it's a day. Right. Great. So, and then, Toastmaster Santosh, can you talk about, your favorite summer food and why?
Thank you so much. So obviously, as everybody mentioned, so obviously I like a lot of mangoes. So I eat daily mangoes. At the same time, when summer comes, I eat everyday chocolate and ice creams the most.
Wow. So that's where, we have a community of people loving mangoes. So Azhar, mango is a fruit. It's a king of the fruit in India. It's yellow in color. I'm sure when you Google it, you'll find, lots of mangoes over there. So I'm sure you must try and come. You must come to India to try that fruit. So one, and then of course ice cream. And you know what, beside mango, I just also want to let you guys know there are a couple of other fruits as well, right, which helps us in the summer, that keeps you full, hydrated. You don't have to eat food over it, but then it keeps you, healthy as well as hydrated. And the reason, I'm sure not everybody was very fruit conscious, prior COVID, because at least I am into that category where I was not fruit conscious. I used to hate apples, love seasonal fruits, and then I hate banana with the fear that I may get fat or put on weight, which I get fear of. So I used to hate bananas as well. But then with COVID coming into picture, the love for seasonal fruits have started, right? We all want to get into a vitamin C mode, right? So everybody wants to have vitamin C's, want to have flavonoids, something in other, right? And like you said, Azhar, watermelon is one of the seasonal fruits again, and it's full of water, and it's a summer food, of course. So with COVID coming in picture, we've become more fruit conscious, and we all love to try the seasonal fruits, considering that it will help us boost the immunity and also help us stay healthy, fit and fine, right? So like, people said lychee, of course, watermelon, we have mangoes. It's highly hydrated, low in calorie, and it's a weight loss formula. So in case somebody is looking for a weight loss, which I'm sure Drupadi was trying to do that for a couple of months now, Drupadi, you must definitely try all of these summer foods to make sure that you come back to the shape again. So that's on the summer food. I will talk more on the summer food as we proceed to the session. But at this moment, I would like to invite our first speaker of the day, who's none other than Miss Miss Priya Kumari, right? So Miss Priya Kumari would be taking up the role of speaker one for the day. Little bit on her before I hand over the podium and talk, give a brief on her topic. She is currently a student pursuing BTech, right, from electronic and communication engineering from BIT Mesra. She will be graduating as part of the batch 2019 to 2023 year. So all the best, Priya Kumari, on your upcoming graduations as well. As part of her hobby, she loves singing and dancing. Additionally, she loves to explore new places, new cultures, and traveling is her part of life. So that's on Miss Priya Kumari. And Priya, probably after your speaking session, your speaker topic has been completed. We would like to hear one of your favorite songs that you can sing for the audience this evening. Right? So with that, over to you, Priya Kumari, for your first session of the day as speaker one. Could you also, and the title that she's kept for her speaker speech today is it's it's AHEM, Probably even I am eager to know what this topic covers all. And with that, over to you, Priya Kumari. Let's hear more about it.
Just
Also,
1 second, Toastmaster Savita. Sorry to interrupt. Could we have her evaluator read out the speech objectives first before Priya Kumari takes over as the speaker?
Right, sure. So can I ask the evaluator to, talk on her objective before she starts with the session?
Yeah, thank you, Savita. So today, Priya is in dynamic leadership pathway, and she is in level 4. So her speech objective is the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan, and yes, so that's all for that is the whole objective for from the speech. And for the timer, please be informed that the time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and the grace period is 30 seconds. So overall, Priya can go up to 7 minutes 30 seconds. So I wish all the best to Priya for her speech. Over to you, Savita.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator. Over to you, Ms. Priya Kumari. We're all looking forward to learn more about the topic. So go ahead.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. I hope I am audible clearly to everyone and visible also.
Yes, you are very clear and audible. Thank you.
May I have your attention, please? I have a special announcement to make. Audience are requested to pay attention to my speech with their utmost attention. A little girl has taken birth in a small family. And just like a train, I made my grand entrance into the life of my loved one. The small family consists of 4 people, the couple and their 2 kids. First one was a boy, second one was a girl. Yes, I was the third one, the youngest. Being the youngest, newest, and the cutest, I, just after the birth, dragged everyone's attention towards me and became everybody's favorite. So they named me Priya, which means loved by all. The time I was born, my siblings were also not too old. My sister will be of 2-3 years old, and my brother will be of 6-7 years old. And they also needed my parents' attention equally. But since my birth, their attention was all mine. When the toddlers are born, they are like this plain sheet of paper, who, with experience, get imprinted with gratitude, behavior, and attitude, which later on they adopt. I was the same. And in my childhood, since I was the youngest, I was pampered a lot. and I was always ill, so I was scared also a lot. Eventually, I was colored with the ink of attention, which became my life, and I became an attention seeker. Earlier, it was on small scale, so nobody was noticing it. And one who was noticing must be thinking that it would be some kind of my childish enthusiasm. But later on, with time, it kept on getting magnified. One such incident, which I remember, was when I was in 6th standard. It was parents teacher meet. Me and my sibling used to go to the same school. That day, the result was to come. The final exam result was to come. And when we went to the school, we saw the result. My siblings have scored really good marks. And as usual, they were at first position in their class. Unlike them, this time, my marks was really poor. And I then secured any position in my class. Because I was ill during the time of exam. So the time when I reached home, we were showing our report cards to our parents. I saw my parents giving more attention to my siblings. They were talking about them, they were praising them, no attention to me. So I got really jealous of them and I ran towards the bathroom and locked myself in the bathroom and started crying. Listening to my crying, my parents ran towards me and asked me to open the door. The bathroom door was really old, so I was unable to open it. I was locked inside. So after lots of effort, at last, now this was noticeable, and this everybody noticed. My father understood everything. Next day, my father called me and said, "You know what is the best thing about life? That you are living. You are contributing something. Everybody, if anybody does here anything, he does for himself. Anything anybody is doing is going to harm or benefit himself. If your sheet of paper has been spoiled, just take a look at it and analyze it, then make a best outcome possible out of it and just fly it. Never let your past bother you. Learn from your mistakes. Every day is a new chapter. So just start from a fresh sheet of paper where it is your fresh canvas where you can write entire story of the new day. So say hi to this new Priya. This attitude I inculcated in my life, and the new technique which I adopted here was, now whenever I am stuck in some kind of problem, I take a fresh sheet of paper, make a big circle on this paper. Then on this side of paper, I write all the reasons which were there behind me not succeeding in that particular task or behind that mistake. I mentioned all those points on this side of paper. And in this side, where I have made this big circle, inside this circle, I write all the conditions which were there under my control, which I could have done to avoid such kind of mistake. I mentioned them in this circle. And in the outer circumference, I write all the reasons which were not there under my control and I could have done nothing about it. So this was the approach which I adopted, taking my father's advice, and now I am no more an attention seeker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya Kumari. So thank you, Toastmaster Priya Kumari. Your love for family were absolutely evident by the passion which you shared in your personal story today. And I'm sure your family loves you no less as well. So it was nice to see how, we can take forward leave behind our past, take forward all the positive learnings, and fly ahead. So thank you for that key message that you brought to us, via your story today. So thank you, Toastmaster Priya Kumari, for the session. With that, we move to the next part of the session, which is most looked forward again, is on the table topics, the remaining part of the table topics. So with that, I would like to hand over to table topic master Drupadi Mitra to continue with the remaining sessions of the table topic master. After that, we would come back to the speaker number 2, Pramatesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Savita. Yes, and I'm back with another table topic session. So, guys, let's lift the mood of the meeting and let's share ideas. Let's be fearless and come on, let's do it. Okay, so let's see the nominations. Guys, nominate yourself. We have the timer nominating. We have Arijit nominating. I'll take a couple of more speakers. We have Mrinal nominating himself. And one more if possible. Okay, no problem. Okay, so first of all, I need someone to keep time instead of Toastmaster Swarnava because he's the timer, so he needs to speak. Anyone of you can keep time?
Toastmaster.
Okay, Savita will keep the time. No problem. Let me apply him. Let me share the topic. And this is an apt topic for you because you are a lawyer, right? So let me see how you face it. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, just give me a second. Seems like internet is a bit stable. No problem. Okay, so I just read out the topic. Toastmaster Swarnava. The most impactful book in your life. The most impactful book in your life. Toastmaster Swarnava.
So, how many of you here love to read books? Can I get a raise of hands from the audience who are the book readers? Wow, so the ubiquitous raise of hands. In my life, I have come across so many plethora of books. It has helped me to grow the life of monk. What reason? Life. Just from the end of the book, through the book, and turning, come across how Jay's life from a love of diversity to in his monkhood. He has a city of India where he has in a ashram and he has shared so many chapters of his life. I can resonate from one of the chapters of the book. Is it me? Sharing a story of a mirror full of dust. Can't even see his own reflection on a mirror. And on that he again look at the mirror into the deeper context of the mirror. Dust refers to our mental distractions, our thoughts and the anxieties. If we can't resonate with them, if we can't clear out the paths of them, then we can't lead our life of our own. We can't go ahead. So that is a book that I can resonate with myself. Yeah, thank you.
Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmasters 101? Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. The most impactful book in my life is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this has literally helped me discipline my life. Initially, I was very lazy. I used to get up late and could not finish my tasks on an everyday basis. But this book has sort of guided me how to make small habits and how to schedule tasks and get things done on time. So thank you so much, Toastmasters 101, for attending today's table topics. Next, I'll go to Toastmaster Mrinal for the next table topic. Okay, Toastmaster Mrinal. Let me share the topic with you. Just loading. Yeah. Toastmaster Mrinal. The inner child. The inner child. Toastmaster Mrinal.
Life is all about journey. If you want to be successful in your life, always keep the inner version of child in yourself. I believe in two things. If you want to progress in your life, first and foremost thing is important. Be a lifelong student, like a small child. If you want to really grow in your life, in your career, always your inner child should be there. If you are not hungry for whatever you are doing in your career, you are nowhere. So trust me, friends, one thing is important in your career. Whatever you are doing, you should follow the proper process flow. Like I believe, sometimes we should be, even I'm talking about when you're giving a presentation in Toastmaster also. Before presentation, be a self-motivated. Give a best shot of your presentations. Try to do one thing in your life. Just enjoy. Enjoy and behave like a small child. Because when you behave like a small child, you don't have any stress in your mind. You are a free mind. Then your result will be great. For me, I believe one thing. That's why your inner child should be present throughout your career. I believe in one quote, which is by Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay foolish. And another quote by Indira Nuri, be a lifelong student if you want to achieve in your life. That's all from my side.
Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Mrinal for sharing his thoughts in a wonderful manner? Yes, so we should keep our inner child alive in whatever we do, because inner child will generate curiosity, inner child will generate creativity, inner child will generate new desires, new paths, will help us explore new opportunities and keep us and will make us stay grounded. So thank you so much for attending today's session and taking up the table topics. Thank you so much. Okay, so the last person who wants to speak, let me have him on the spotlight. Arijit, if you can switch on your video. Yes. Okay, so Arijit, let me share the topic with you. And this is something interesting. Think about it and share your thoughts. Okay. Toastmaster Arijit, Dinner with a historical figure. Dinner with a historical figure. Toastmaster Arvind.
Good evening, dear fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. So I want to share my personal thought about food. Food is the most important part in our life. Without food, we are not surviving. And as well as without food, we are not thinking. Good food, think good. And bad food, think worst. So I believe that food is the one and only thing for human psychology to move fast and actively. So I was thinking in my life, once upon a time, I am having dinner with legend person. But it is not possible in my daily life. But I'm sure you, one day, is it possible for me in my daily life? But I don't bother because each and every day in my dream, I am getting lot of new thing with someone special guest in my dream. I love different type of cuisine. Is it not possible to eat in front of me? But in my dream, I eat each and everything. Because that is the one thing, is it not possible any kind of circumstances happen? Because it is free of cost. If you want that kind of thing, just before sleep, you think about it, lot of thing you can eat in your life, that dream come true each and every day. So what do you think, table topic master, in your mind? And what about your food you having in your good and bad with your partner? Over to you. Thank you.
Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Arijit? Well, Toastmaster Arijit, I think your child is wanting to have a dinner with you as a historical figure as of now. But yeah, jokes apart, I want to have dinner with APJ Abdul Kalam. I have a certain interest in rocketry, and after watching the web series Rocket Boys, that interest intrigued a lot in me. I want to have dinner with APJ Abdul Kalam, share ideas about how he set his career path as a scientist, and learn more about him as a human being as well, because he's called a people's president, right? So, lot to learn from him. So yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind, for joining us today and sharing your thoughts. Okay, so with that, I think I could intrigue you guys a little bit with the messages all around. So I end my session here and pass the baton back to our wonderful Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Drupadi. Thank you, Drupadi, for all the interesting topics that you come up with always, and all the wonderful table topic speakers. It's always good to hear some thoughts, gain some learning through the sessions. Always. Right. So before we get into the second part of the speaker announcing, that I'll be announcing very shortly, I could see Mrinal joined some time ago, right? Mrinal, what is your thought on, iced coffee? Okay, the theme for today was, summer food. Okay, and then, my thought on iced coffee. Okay, it's a cooling agent, right? I feel it's very great when you pick a coffee mug, okay? Ice cool coffee mug in the morning when you start your day, right? I don't think we can start our better summer days without an iced coffee, right? So what do you think? I mean, how do you start your day, with, if you can talk about, one summer food, one cooling agent?
Yeah, I think as temperature is rising nowadays, it's always better. You should stay cool, stay calm to give your 100% for the day. For that, I think starting a day with a good food is always a good. Like you are talking about iced coffee. And apart from that, I like to prefer most of the time watermelon juice.
Absolutely.
So when you drink in the morning with your breakfast, you feel energetic, and automatically it's create a catalyst in your day in such kinds of environments. So it's always better. Start your day, stay calm, having a good breakfast, and any agent, whether iced coffee or maybe watermelon juice, and then you start your day, and you can feel the catalyst of work. Whatever work you need to do, that should be a catalyst. So that's where I start my day most of the time. Prefer South Indian food or try to be, because I travel a lot because of my job purpose. So it's always better in such kind of weather. You try to use such kind of food which is good for your health in such kind of weather. Thanks for bringing up such a wonderful topic. Over to you.
Thank you, Mrinal. I mean, yeah, we all are into the category of watermelon as well. First is mango for all of us, second watermelon, and thank you for tagging along the category of watermelon and watermelon juice. Right. So with that, I would like to talk a few lines about our speaker, the second speaker of the day, right? Who's none other than Pramatesh, Toastmaster Pramatesh, right? I mean, he's born and brought up in Shillong, spent 21 years of his valuable life in a cosmopolitan society, right? His work took him to 5 different states of Assam, each having a distinct culture. So with that, he's been a great friend to me and a great guide to me since the day I've joined Toastmaster Club. So thank you, Pramatesh, for all the support that you've extended to me. With that, we would like to hear from you. Also, the evaluator for speaker, Toastmaster speaker number 2, Pramatesh, is Toastmaster Astha Khandelwal. Can I have the evaluator, Ms. Toastmaster Astha, to speak a line about his objective before I hand over the mic to him?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of the project for the member is to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. I wish Toastmaster Pramatesh all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you, Astha, for detailing the objective of his speech today. With that, Toastmaster Pramatesh, the topic of his speech is Mystery of the Bird's Shadow. Mystery of the Bird's Shadow. Toastmaster Pramatesh, over to you. Let's hear from you.
Have you ever heard about the story of bird's shadow, the mystery of bird's shadow?
No, probably I'm here to listen about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about the encapsulating tale about the bird who could never fly. Despite knowing how to fly, just imagine his position. He could not fly just like any other bird. The bird whose name was Luna was always told to keep his feet into the ground. Always stay within his limit and never think about doing something that will take him away from his roots. He was told that no matter what he does, he has to stay in the ground. Ironically, the same people also expected him to fly, just like any other birds. They would give example of other birds who were showing their success in how they were flying. There was peer pressure also. His friends would send him pictures of different places where they were flying. Sometimes they were flying up in the sky. Sometimes they were flying over the ocean. It was creating a huge amount of pressure into him. But then he started thinking about ways how he can start flying. Luna devised a way in which he was in reach of the ground and also he could fly. Luna started flying, ensuring that his shadow was always into the ground. And that is when it all started. He was flying, but he was not feeling happy. He felt imprisoned in his own shadows. He tried to break out of this prison, but he was unable to do that. But one day, miracle happened. There was a feather who was flying freely in the air, devoid of any shadow. That is when he understood that it is not important to keep the shadow into the ground, and he could also fly freely. And he took the risk of flying. And when he returned to the ground, his shadow was returned to him as like a gift. He felt so relieved. He then took another flight, then came back again, then took another, and series of flights started in his life. This bird is none other than my dreams. There was a time when I could not know how to fulfill my dreams. I had lots of dreams, but I could not follow my passion. There were pressures into me, like I did not know how to earn money from following my passion. Or what if people would know my vulnerabilities when I start expressing my dreams? This was very painful. But there are some beautiful people in this world who helped me understand that there is one fear that is more important than the fear of losing. That is fear of losing again. We all have lost something or other in our life, but the fear of losing again is a bigger fear, and it should be kept alive. And that is how I started working on my dreams again. Today, I am trying to start writing again without thinking what the world might think. Today, it's all about my happiness. I am starting to think about my happiness. And I'm on my way to complete a book. And I would urge all of you to follow your dreams, and you will achieve something in your life. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Can I have a round of applause for Toastmaster Pramatesh? What a whimsical session. What a whimsical session. It was immensely heart-touching and very emotional. So thank you, Pramatesh, for sharing that story with us. Now I understand the mystery of a bird shadow. Why that topic? So thank you so much, Toastmaster Pramatesh, once again. Now, I would like to call upon the keynote speaker for the day, who is none other than Toastmaster Pallavi Chatterjee. A little bit on Pallavi, right? And I'm sure once you hear her on the stage, you will say that, Savita, you would have talked a little more about her. So Pallavi Chatterjee has been a dedicated member of Toastmaster for past more than 5 years. She has participated in multiple area and division level contests. She is one of the excelled member in table topics and evaluation. One should, be part of our evaluation skill as well. She has a passion for public speaking. She also believes in helping others in the corporate world to come up to the speed. She is a corporate community speaker and as part of an institutional club through awareness and keynote speeches. She participates, she gives her learning across so that, each member in the team is bought by her up. So that's on the Toastmaster Pallavi. So Toastmaster Pallavi, the topic that she has for today is the ripple effect. Toastmaster Pallavi, the topic for the speech today is the ripple effect. Ripple effect, Toastmaster Pallavi, over to you. Let's rock the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And before all of you start listening to me, that's an incorrect introduction. I'm sorry, Toastmaster of the day. I don't know who shared that. Because I'll tell you what my introduction is. Sure. So I'll tell you what my introduction is. I'm a nobody. That's correct. I am a nobody. You know why? Because then I can be anybody. If I want, I can be Satyaki today. My choice. If I want, I can be the Rajashri today. Who can stop me? And I really don't want to be the Pramatesh today. He's laughing too much, but maybe some other day. So I am a nobody because I really want to be a somebody. Before you start treating me as Pallavi this, as Pallavi that, why can't you treat me like water? Why can't I treat Azhar like water today? Do you know what the beauty of it is? Water can take the shape of any vessel you can put it to. While water is needed to quench your thirst, when it's in the form of snow, it can actually freeze your blood. And if it wants, it can freeze you till death. If it wants, it will give you the basic reason 70% of your body is water. So why shape anybody? Why name anybody? Yes, I do not have the zero figure, but I feel Pramatesh tells me, if you do not stop eating ice cream, someday you'll stop fitting in the screen and you can't attend a UVTC Toastmaster meet. And I said, okay, a part of me would be visible. That's good enough. And that's the very idea. I am a nobody. Today, if I want, I can be renowned. Today, I'll be the speaker, Priya. So that is what each of one of you can be. The very idea of causing a ripple effect. Now I'll tell you in a gossip way. Do you feel there are secrets? And that's a question I want to ask maybe Astha. Astha, is there a secret? Although I love the way you were crisp, clear, short, and you shared the idea of the speech. But Astha, what is the ripple effect? Do you have any secret that you like to share?
No.
I will tell nobody. Okay, so I'll tell you why I asked that question. Astha's best friend is Pallavi, and she shares a secret with me. And trust me, I also have a best friend whom I'll go and share. Listen, I have an Astha secret you do not share with anybody. And that causes a ripple effect where Astha's secret is known by the entire club. Now, while that is not the most desired way, look at it in a perspective. Can you, each one of you, not cause a ripple effect? Even if you drop a piece of coin or a piece of brick or a stone in water, do you see the ripple effect it causes? And that is what each one of you is capable of. Yes, each one of you, every member present here, and unfortunately many who did not attend to listen to the Pallavi. Egomaniac? No, not that I am. Or maybe you figure it out. Or maybe the general evaluator will figure that out for me. Now, while I say that, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology talked about ripple effect. They talked about the human dynamics, and I'll read that out. The ripple effect occurs when an initial disturbance to a system propagates outward to disturb an increasingly larger proportion of the system, like ripples expanding across the water an object is dropped into. Well, that's Massachusetts University, so they talk a lot of English. I'll speak in very simple terms. While I have been declared as the keynote speaker today, and I am telling you I am a nobody, so I don't even know why they had me here. What I was thinking is, let's talk about what you should not do in Toastmasters. How about that? Everybody tells me, oh, become a president like Drupadi. Oh, become a speaker like Pramatesh, or become a wonderful guest like probably Veena. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Like Veena. But what you should not do, I call it a triple P effect. Any guesses what is that triple P? Anyone? Any wild guess is welcome. Even if you say one of the P is Pramatesh, we are okay with that. Anybody?
Partiality.
Okay. Now, partial you would be towards yourself maybe, but towards someone. I call the triple effect, the first P is Pallavi. Save yourself from the Pallavi effect. Now that will be P for Pramatesh, that will be P for Priya, and that will be S for Savita, and R for Rajashi. The first P is Pallavi, where I am not able to collect myself and share my thoughts in the meeting. I am feeling, why do I speak? Why does UVTC need me? I could have just been Netflix and chill. That's what goes on. This is the lizard effect. All of our brain has that lizard. It's not very pretty or like Katrina or handsome like Shahrukh, but it has that effect in your mind. Why should I go there? It's a Sunday evening. Let's chill out, have some ice cream, mama. That's what it will happen. So that is the first P. For Mrinal, it's the first M. For Astha, it's the first A. For Priya, it's the first P. We need to avoid. The second P is procrastination. Why should I join Toastmasters Drupadi's club? Next year I'll have a better time, my work is a little relaxed and then I'll join. Or this year I have this examination, or today I need to go out on a date, or today I have my dancing lessons, drama lessons, or today probably I'm going out for this food, whatever. The procrastination. That's the second thing we need to avoid. And the third thing is the negative part of persuasion, where you're persuading yourself with all the above that I shared. Pallavi, you're right. You don't have to join this club. You don't need to attend this meeting. You can have your fun time. Pallavi, let's drop this meeting. Next month, they will have a meeting now. Go there. Stop persuading you from the up, over and above. So that's what you should not do. While I think I have spoken enough and you people are getting bored, and before more of the people drop in or drop out of the meeting, let's see your hands. Let's do a little bit of activity. You've heard a lot. I mean, Pramatesh was speaking a lot. So you have a left hand? Okay, and you have a right hand. And if you can swing and swing the other side. Nice, your bones are working. Awesome. And I'm sure Azhar, the R counter, Tulika, all of you are also doing that, even if I do not see you on the video. So DJ Drupadi, why don't you play a song? I taught them the Farah Khan or the Saroj Khan style of dancing, while they thought I was just asking them to raise the hand. Hit it, DJ.
Just give me one second. Just give me one
I'll
second.
give you 30 seconds. 1 second is already over while you said that.
We already have on singer in this meeting. Priya Kumari, would you like to sing a song while that we all are dancing?
All right, who is going to sing a song?
Priya Kumari, Toastmaster Priya Kumari. She's already a singer as a hobby that she mentioned. Would you like to sing a
Awesome.
song?
Yes, I am, but if you all could also join me.
Absolutely, go ahead, Priya Kumari, and we all will join you in dancing.
Yeah. So, do I need to sing some dancing song, something like that?
Anything that you like.
Not at all. You can think about any song that you want to sing, Priya. We will be with you, but this song has a reason why I'm playing it. So let's play the song while it gives you time to think whichever song. No questions asked. You're an amazing singer. We'll listen to you. Hit it, Drupadi. And please put it on full screen. Let me see your hands. I taught you some dancing. Come on. Even if you don't, but let's go ahead. Come on. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for playing it. We can get back to the screen while people forget this is a keynote speech. All right, I hope I was able to energize you guys a little bit, right? And the very reason for playing this song is all of you are unstoppable. That's correct. You are unstoppable. You are that Porsche with no brakes. So I ask, request each one of you to give it your best shot wherever you are, whether you're part of this club, whether you are delivering a speech in a public forum, whether it is any other notes, hit it. And because my very dear friend Savita asked Toastmaster Priya to sing a song, before I continue with the speech, Priya, over to you if the song is ready.
I have not yet thought of any any song. If you could suggest me any song, I can sing. Like, let me tell you, I am an encyclopedia. So whatever song you will suggest, I can sing entire line.
So Luck, can you sing the song Rapta, because it is one of my favorite songs sang by Rapta by Arijit Singh.
कहते हैं खुदा ने इस जहां में सभी के लिए किसी ना किसी को है बनाया है किसी के लिए तेरा मिलना है उस रब का इशारा मानो मुझको बनाया तेरे किसी के लिए कुछ तो बता कुछ
Appear feel that in because nobody laughs. Even if a speaker comes on the street, if he or she deserves a applaud. So I think that the most amazing is the peer group Toastmasters will do here. Yeah.
So I believe that's a definition of acclimatize, like Toastmaster Savita taught us. We are here for each other. Nobody judges anybody. There is no evaluation, and which I'm very petrified of how the general evaluator is going to evaluate me. But why spare a chance? When he gets to grill me, why don't I grill him? Toastmaster Rajarshi, what is your learning that this should not be done in Toastmaster? Be as controversial as you can be.
This is the perfect question I could have had. I have a wonderful answer for that. I think what should not happen in Toastmasters is favoritism. I think when you start favoring people and you not, especially when in contests, when you are not crowning a deserving winner, but rather ensuring your favorites move up the ladder, even though you have several judges training program and chief judges training programs, but I guess a certain amount of bias still remains. And I think we should do away with any form of biases in Toastmasters. That should not happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajarshi. And yes, I heard the term bias. I hope you will be biased towards me today because I gave you an opportunity to speak. So, you know, this is how you have the ripple effect. I'm just making that pavement that the evaluator doesn't grill me after the meeting. All right, moving to the next speaker, Toastmaster Tulika. Tell us something which is most unique about any club you visited, whether it's your own home club, whether it is any other club, any meeting, any speaker, or anything that you learned, which is something you might like to implement in your personal life, professional life.
Okay, so I would say that in every club, there are members from like different areas throughout the country, rather I say throughout the world. In every club I have seen. So the diversity is very accepted and very respected, I would say. Whether that person is able to see something or not, I would like to go with our previous speaker, Toastmaster Swarnavu, as he said that everyone gets an applaud for whatever he or she speaks out. And here, what the diversity is respected, like whether that person from India or from other country also, there is a huge difference in the tone, the voice quality, the speaking type. So that may not be properly understandable, rather I would say, but still that person gets an applaud for whatever he or she speaks. So this is what I would say. It's very good about Toastmaster. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Tulika. Now moving to another individual, and I'll let you guys guess who this individual is. This individual, and I'm not naming it's a gentleman or a lady, because in Toastmaster, you're just a Toastmaster, wears many caps. I heard in the 2 meetings that career from one direction to another, taking up those challenges and never shy away from that. Any guesses who that speaker would be?
Pramathesh.
Sorry, is that Dhrubadeep someone said?
No, Pramathesh.
Pramathesh, okay.
Pramathesh.
Veena, I
Okay.
guess.
That's correct. So you were not hearing, Pramathesh, you were listening. So I heard in the last meeting and this time as well, Toastmaster Veena, if we can learn something from you. I have heard that in the meetings that you have taken your career in different dimensions, different aspects, which are completely opposite to each other. And you took up that challenge and you never shy away from sharing that. So what is something we can in Toastmasters learn from you?
So from me, I have joined Toastmaster to improve my vocal skills and to excel in the current role I am. And what I feel is if you take up a challenge, you can achieve it if you have a trust in yourself. So I've always learned to trust in my instinct. So and that is one thing which I would urge everyone to go ahead and trust their instinct. What if you feel you can do it and it's difficult, still it's difficult for you, don't give up, because
Amazing.
it happens like towards the end you feel like you are not able to achieve and you will give up, but you have to stick on, and if you
Absolutely.
stick on, you will excel.
Awesome. So that's a learning that all of us in Toastmasters need to have. Whether it is in competitions, there are biased, whether there is politics at the district level, whether there is my club is not getting enough attention. Are you doing your best? Are you taking up those challenges like Veena did? And if she's not given herself a pat on the back, I'm sure she will do that today because I give her a virtual pat on the back. So that's what each one of us has to learn. Never give up. In 2019, August, the entire year of 2019 was, I will just get a call from my uncle. You're taking your father to the hospital, again, a paralytic attack. And I'll just inform my manager that I'll probably take a few days leave and I have to go. And I was very strong throughout in a very professional way because I come from the corporate and corporate club. So in the most professional way. And in August, when he called that, okay, so something like that, we're taking him to the hospital. I don't know why my tears started rolling, even if I was calm, poised in the most professional way that, okay, I need to take a leave and I'll come back after a few days. And I said, this time I'm not coming to my hometown, which is Allahabad and now known as Prayagraj. I said, I will not come home and I'm going to Lucknow because there is the PGI bigger hospital. I don't think he's treated well. So I'll beg before the hospital, the director, that I need a bed for my father. And with the ambulance, you bring my father there and we'll this time recover him forever. So he will be all good. And with that thing in mind, I just booked the flight and reached Lucknow after my work. So sleep deprived, mentally distorted, doesn't matter. And that was the most traumatic time because the director says, so what if we save him? He's already aging. He will, this disease is forever. So he will die someday. I have a young child who is in his teens and is suffering from something. You want me to give the bed to your father and not him? How does a daughter answer that question or any son answer that question? I had no answer. I just fell on his feet and I said, I don't have an answer, but I just want to save my father. He said, okay, you come back in the morning. And in that strange city, I took a lodge, a room in there so that I can be just close to the hospital. I would not go back home. I'll stay there, take the bed, and then you bring my father in the ambulance. And by 11 p.m. at night, my uncle called me and said, some uncle would come to meet you. Now I understood the message very clearly. Nobody is going to come to meet me at 11 p.m. in the night. I said, you don't need to come from Allahabad to Lucknow. It is a 5-hour drive. I will do the last rites. And I know why am I being asked to, someone would come to meet you. And this daughter who lost her mother at 3.5 years age and have been not my father bringing me up, but I proudly say I have been bringing up And that is how the journey started. I came back from there, and 13 days in the Hindu culture, the girls do not go to the graveyard and have these last rites, but which I did. I took that decision. And I came back on the 14th day, was a Toastmaster meeting in my own club. I said, I would not let anybody know what is going on inside me. Even if there is a volcano, that is for me, not for others. And I will go there and attend the meeting, which I did. While trying to acclimatize to the life that I now have to lead, the helper in my house had my home robbed, my laptop, cash, whatever money and all those things. And the first time going to a police station, reaching them, and you know all the chaos. I'll save time because I don't want the story to be very long. And then that happened and I was helpless. No help was provided by the cops and I had to manage my life moving ahead. I did not stop because Toastmaster doesn't make me, I make Toastmasters. I own it. They don't own me. The day we stop thinking that they own you, they need to please you, they need to provide you the place, it's not important. I own Toastmasters, and that's the vigor I have. While I was doing that, I thought, okay, let's have external speakers, this, that, keynote speech from big people, big names, this DTM, this, that. Fair enough. All that was being organized in the organization, and the first international speech competition was around the corner. And I was very much prepared that I will give my 100%. I will not let that grief take me down. I will let that grief inside take me up. And in one of those meetings, I met with an accident, broke my foot, and bedridden for the next tenure, which happened in February 2020. And then after a few days, I get to know something like COVID has happened. And while others also need to work from home, and life has become completely distorted. And I thought I need to organize my life because there is nobody to take care of me. No father, no mother, no siblings. I need to take care, but that does not mean it will stop me from participating. I do not care whether I win or not. I will win a lot of hearts. That nobody can stop me. So if Toastmaster Mrinal likes me as a speaker, how do I care whether I'm a DTM or not, whether I'm the district director or I have a photograph with Prince Charles or not? I am the Toastmaster. While telling you all the stories, the only thing I want to all of you to envision, don't let Toastmaster make you. You make Toastmasters. Have that energy. And before the general evaluator says, I'll shoot you at sight, I think I need to give the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster of the Day, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we have a large round of applause to our Toastmaster Pallavi Chatterjee? Like I said, right? Whatever I will describe about her will all be wrong. And she did, say that in a very satirical way. So that was a whimsical speech, Pallavi. That was amazing. And hats off to you. I know that I understand, and we all are here. We feel the battle that you have gone through. I'm sure it's not easy to be alone when the entire world was wanting to be together with a family, and then you stayed alone during that time. And you still made it large, okay? Pallavi, I think you share an immense learning to all of us, Pallavi. And that is the reason I said in the beginning of my speech that I love listening to Pallavi. So thank you, Pallavi, for ending our session, ending our 88th meeting with a wonderful story and a wonderful keynote speech. So thank you, Toastmaster Pallavi, for that. And then yes, coming back to my theme, that is summer food. I'm sure people are already waiting for the dinner, and it's already talking lots of food today. And people are waiting for dinner, family dinner. It's a Sunday evening again. So I'm sure we all know lots of food has already passed across here. So with the concept of food, like we all know, we should always stay happy, stay positive, and irrespective of the seasonal food or whatever food you eat, your immune system should be very healthy and happy, right? Also, I would request to have a healthy mind, healthy conversation, this kind of a feeling to keep your immune of brain, mind healthy, it only comes through a Toastmaster Club session. I would want to end my speech by encouraging each one of you to come up and bring your guest, be part of the Toastmaster Club, and stay positive. Join in by keeping your mind, body healthy. Food gives you a healthy body, but being part of a Toastmaster gives you a healthy brain and mind. So thank you for that. Thank you for injecting, all positivity and energy and learning in me. I'm sure each one of you will also feel the same. With that, I would now like to hand over my battle to the most awaited event or the session of the day, that is on the general evaluator feedback. Over to you, Rajeshri. Let's hear from you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the applause going for our encyclopedia of summer food, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Savita. Well, before I get into the general evaluation, I should mention one particular thing, that if you remember and if you've listened carefully when our Toastmaster of the day introduced me, she did mention that this year for the humorous speech contest, I was the first runner-up at district level. And on that very day, there was someone with me on stage who is her division champion and is present in the meeting today. Ladies and gentlemen, can I request all of you to put your hands together for the Division G champion of humorous speech contest, Toastmaster Priya Kumari. And I have witnessed her speech on stage that day. Ladies and gentlemen, she was magnificent. So heartiest congratulations to you, Toastmaster Priya, for making it to the district finals, and what a speech it was. Many congratulations to you for that. Well, with that, coming to the general evaluation section, we don't have any time left actually. So I will try to rush as much as I can. So today we had 2 prepared speakers and 1 prepared speaker. In case you're wondering who is that prepared speaker, I'm talking about our keynote speaker, that is Toastmaster, the person who actually said that she's nobody. So I would not call her name, Toastmaster Nobody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know, first of all, I had to evaluate you. So what I would want to say is the first thought that came to my mind when I actually saw you, Toastmaster Pallavi, and when I heard your speech, was that you exude confidence. The confidence with which you delivered your keynote speech was unbelievable. I wish I could borrow even 20% of that confidence level from you. If I wish that could be shared, but really, really wonderfully done, Toastmaster Pallavi. And I think this is it's a big learning for all of us. She hasn't used a very flowery language in her speech, and a speech is not good when you put flowery language in it. It can be very simple and yet very effective. And that's what Pallavi taught us today. Right from the time, the fact that she talked about the things that we enjoy in Toastmasters, what should be there, the fact that we all stand with each other, we applaud for one another, and there's no judgment, to the point what should not happen, the biases that should not happen, how we can learn from one another, the never give up attitude, and the fact that we make Toastmasters and Toastmasters don't make us. I think every single segment that she covered in her keynote speech was brilliant. Toastmaster Pallavi, hats off to you for such a keynote speech. Congratulations. With that, now coming to the 2 prepared speakers that we had for today. I know we had a little bit of up and down. We had table topic first, then 1 speaker, then table topics again, then another speaker, but we'll go the usual way. So we'll start with the 2 prepared speakers. The first prepared speaker was Toastmaster Priya Kumari, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Shatuki Das. So I would request Toastmaster Shatuki to kindly provide the evaluation for Toastmaster Priya. Over to you, Toastmaster Shatuki.
Thank you, Rajeshri. So, ahem. Initially I didn't know the exact meaning of the word. It was, I Googled it. So the meaning came out is used to represent the noise made when clearing throat, typically to attract attention. So initially I was a little confused whether the title will be suitable for like the topic. But later on, right, when you just spoke, it was perfect, it is super. So I wish I also can deliver the speeches like you. The first thing I liked is you started with the attention, and there's a whistling sound, right? The steam engine. So which really catches the attraction of the audience, and which is superb. And also you stood up and delivered your speech, and so the body language you were flawless. And when you were explaining your family, right? So being the youngest in your family, so you were attention seeker, and you depicted a few examples of your personal life, which perfectly resemble with the title Ahem. Okay, so acting, and also you gave the audience a hint or the way out to come out from that state, right? And you also you are representing using this circle, right, which is not controlling your life and which can control your life, right? So though the picture was not visible, but your explanation, right, were quite I think we can understand by your speech itself how you're going to draw. So that I liked it. I really, frankly speaking, right, being the first evaluator, I didn't find a real flaw or real issue in your speech. So only thing I found that, so that the objective of your title was something change, pardon me, it is the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. So I know everything is management, though if this management term you can change, at least as far as I'm concerned. So I think everything else was super. So I think, yeah, I don't have, so hats off to you. So that's it. Over to you, General Evaluator Rajurshi.
Thank you very much. Can we have a big round of applause for our evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Shattuki? Well, I will come back to the speaker, but just to Toastmaster Shattuki. Shattuki, just remind me, is this your first evaluation or have you evaluated in the past? You're on mute.
This is my first evaluation.
Okay, so considering Shattuki's first evaluation, I would say kudos to you. You have this being your first evaluation, the details that you've looked into the speaker's speech was definitely commendable. I really appreciate you for that. Just a couple of things which I would like to highlight to you in terms of your evaluation. So when you moved from commendations to the recommendations bit, you did mention to the speaker that as such, I did not find any flaws or issues with your speech. Now, when you use terms like flaws, issues, these are considered as negative terms. So it's better to avoid such terms. Rather, you should say that I do not find any recommendation areas, or the recommendation areas were very less in your speech. However, some of them are, and you can go ahead and give your recommendations. Let's avoid using negative connotations in our evaluations. That is the first thing. The second thing which I would like to mention to you, Toastmaster Shattuki, is that, again, as per the protocol, the way we do evaluation is we start off with the commendations, then we move on to the recommendations, and finally we summarize it for the speaker to remember what you've just said. So I missed that summary bit. I wish you would have had a summary wherein you just briefly touched upon each of the points that you mentioned under commendations and under recommendations. So if you could have summarized it at the end, that would have made your evaluation complete. But like I said, this was your first evaluation, so congratulations to you for that. Let's have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Shattuki. Now coming to our speaker, Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Priya, I have seen you deliver speech live, on stage, and now virtually. Now, Toastmaster Priya, your evaluator, I agree with your evaluator in a lot of areas. The title itself encapsulated me when you said, in fact, Toastmaster of the day said, ahem, ahem. I think that title itself was, I was thinking what the speech could be all about. So it was really, really, really attractive, I would say. And the fact that you've used your prop throughout your speech, you've
You talked about the piece of paper at the beginning, and then right at the end, you again brought in that piece of paper, and you mentioned about it. So I think that usage of prop was brilliant in your speech. A few recommendations from my side, Toastmaster Priya, is that I feel that you could have used the stage a little better. You had multiple stories in your speech, your personal stories. I wish you delivered it at different parts of the stage. Thereby, you had some amount of stage choreography. So that is something which you could have added to your speech. The other thing which I felt is, I'm sure the grammarian would have noted, but as the general evaluator, I too have seen this, that there is a general tendency of using the word so many a times to join sentences. You've joined many sentences using the word so. So there is, so we can keep the sentences short and simple and do away redundantly with that word so. Let's not use that word so too many times. The other thing is that you have, in your speech, I felt you could have brought in a little bit of variations by adding more dialogues in your speech. Maybe the conversations between you and your cousins, or your father. You did have a dialogue for your father, but other places also you could have incorporated dialogues, thereby breaking the monotony in your speech. Even I felt that when you had a dialogue for your father, I wish you changed your voice a little bit, thereby bringing in a little bit of vocal variety. But all in all, your message was great. And I felt like I said, the usage of prop and the title really complemented the speech that followed. Very well done, Toastmaster Priya. Which brings me to my next speaker. Our second speaker for today was Toastmaster Pramathesh. And to evaluate Toastmaster Pramathesh, can I kindly request Toastmaster Astha to come onto the podium, please? Over to you, Astha.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Congratulations, Toastmaster Pramathesh, on a wonderful speech title and a bang entry into your speech. Have you ever heard of? That's how you grabbed the audience attention with a question and you pulled us into this whimsical story about a flightless bird. So great build up on the story itself, followed the hero's journey. You had a conflict situation where there were these, as you mentioned, ironical expectations, where the bird is expected to stay grounded and yet is under a lot of peer pressure to fly. So wonderful start with that problem, leading on to a very out-of-box solution where the bird's shadow sticks to the ground while the bird itself is free to fly. So great, you took us on an emotional journey of how this bird had this problem and overcame it. So very, very well done on that. The second part is you then went ahead and made it very personal. From a very whimsical story of a flightless bird, it went into a personal story where you said that that bird is none other than my dreams. Amazing connect, all of us, very evocative for us. You went from, you know, the sort of flightless bird to a realization of dreams. So great work on that. And most importantly is the message and the call to action that you ended with, making the entire speech extremely inspirational for the entire audience. A speech where you wanted us to be as free as that bird, where you ended with the call to action, follow your dreams. So very, very well done on the entire structuring, everything about the speech. In terms of recommendations, when you have a story as impactful as this and you have a time limit, I wish you had managed it a little better, because while we were living the story of the flightless bird, the connect to your own struggles was not that clear. So if you can connect it throughout and give us those connections as to how this bird represents your dreams, how you overcame that, all of that would have been a story that we would have been much closer to. The other is, if you can, you know, sort of make sure that your language helps guide the audience throughout to that final message, rather than it coming like a surprise. So this is it, right? So that would be something that you can look at putting into your speech. And the third point would be the use of more vocal variety, especially pauses, and more deliberate gestures to make sure that this evocative story reaches the audience. So various, you know, very key sentences you had, if you could deliver them with that strength. The fear of losing again. I am starting to think about my own happiness. So pauses and making sure that the voice changes to give us those tidbits. Those were the recommendations. So to summarize, great choice of story, wonderful connect to your personal message, and an inspirational call to action. If you could focus on ensuring that the story builds to that connect and use more vocal variety and pauses, I think this would be a memorable speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's have a huge round of applause for our evaluator, Toastmaster Astha Khandelwal. I will come back to our speaker, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Not that I have very much to add because I think Astha has said it all. However, to Toastmaster Astha, I think you are a champion evaluator and I've said it several times. So I really don't have to say much about your evaluation. Again, it is a learning for all of us how an evaluation should be done. She's really followed the structure very well in terms of commendations, recommendations, and finally the summarization of the entire evaluation. I think very, very well done, Toastmaster Astha. The only recommendation I have for you is that when you were initially called upon to read out the objectives for the speaker, I did notice that you did not mention the pathways the speaker is delivering the speech from, the level or the project. I think these are important details that needs to be given out. So the next time you take on this role, I would request you to mention those details as well. But otherwise, in terms of evaluation, brilliant 10 on 10 performance, Toastmaster Astha. Now coming to our speaker, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Toastmaster Pramatesh, like I said, your evaluator said it all. I hope you've made notes of all that was mentioned by Toastmaster Astha. And I was kind of jealous because I had to cut down all the points as she kept mentioning them. I thought she'd leave some for me, but she's barely left anything. The only thing I would like to add, apart from what Astha has mentioned in terms of vocal variety. Now, Toastmaster Pramatesh, your story undoubtedly was very strong. Your content was brilliant. I have nothing to say for your content. It's definitely a district-worthy speech in terms of the content. The only thing that you need to work upon is the delivery. I think the delivery needs to really complement that strong content that you had. And I want to mention that at the very onset, when you talked about a bird which cannot fly, bring out that frustration of a bird who's always asked to stay grounded and forbidden to fly. Because you're talking about that flightless bird, and that flightless bird is the protagonist of your story. So that frustration should come out at the very beginning through your vocal variety. I wish that could have been emphasized a little more there. The other thing which I noticed was repetitive hand gestures throughout your speech, except for the times where you showed that it is flying into the sky. The rest of the times you're using both the hands and it's either this or this. Try kind of modulating it. Try using one hand, then the other hand sometimes, and then mix it up with both the hands. Just don't do this and this, because that is going to look very redundant and repetitive. So these are the only 2 points which I wanted to add apart from what Astha has mentioned. But all in all, like I said, the content was district winning worthy. Very well done, Toastmaster Pramatesh. Okay, now quickly coming to our table topic speakers, I will not give, in the interest of time, I will not give the evaluations for those who are not there in the meeting at the moment. I know Azhar and Lai are not there in the meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong. The third speaker was Toastmaster Veena. Is Toastmaster Veena still in the meeting? Can Veena, if you are there, can you please unmute yourself and say you are? Because I can't see. I think Veena is there, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I can see Veena. Okay, so Toastmaster Veena was the third speaker for today, and Toastmaster Veena topic was your personal mantra and its influence. I really like the fact that Veena, you immediately went on to the mantra. You immediately said that my personal mantra is follow your instincts. And you then shifted on to your personal story where you talked about your journey in your professional life, where you've shifted careers. From being a finance person, you've shifted gears and you've become an IT person. I think very good connect in terms of the mantra and then to your personal story. The only recommendation I have for you, Toastmaster Veena, is when you mentioned about your personal story, I missed how changing careers has benefited you. I understand you have changed careers from being a finance person to an IT person, and the fact that you followed your instinct in doing so. But so what? How has it benefited you? Have you grown as a person? Have you now, as per the words of Toastmaster Pallavi, have you now been able to acclimatize to any situation by shifting gears? So I wanted to get the key output of what you are getting at. So that is the only thing which I felt was missing, but all in all, very good attempt. Well done, Toastmaster Veena. The next person, the next speaker today was Toastmaster Sharnabu, who I'm sure is in the meeting because he's one of my tag team players. So Toastmaster Sharnabu, your topic was the most impactful book you have read. And I love the fact you started off with a question by asking people that how many of you like reading books? I think that is a great way to connect to the audience because a lot of people raised hands and people really answered your question. I think that's a good way to connect to the audience. And you went on to talk about your favorite book and the book that you have read and how you resonate with the various chapters of that book. You've used very strong words. I'm making the job of grammarian easier by using words like ubiquitous, plethora, and things like that. So you have very strong vocabulary, Toastmaster Sharnabu. Keep it up. The only recommendation I have for you is, you did mention that you resonate with the book, but the topic was the most impactful book you have read. I wish you could mention how it has impacted you, how that book really impacted you. Has your life changed after reading that book? So that is the only thing which was in your speech. But all in all, I think a round of applause to you, Toastmaster Sean. Now, coming to our speaker was Toastmaster. Is Toastmaster Mrinal? Yes, great. So Toastmaster Mrinal, your topic was, I had goosebumps when you said, and you took a call. Journey. Very, very effective, good start. You talked about the fact that, you keep your hunger alive, inner child alive, because you should have alive. You talked about the quote, stay hungry, stay. And you, the aspect of Toastmasters also, where you said that be like a small Toastmasters, a child is stress-free, and take a lot of stress on Toastmasters. So I come that bring back my. So very good. The only recommendation, again, this is very personal from my point of view. Keep the hunger alive. You did mention about this globes. I don't know how you relate, because child can be curious, inner child can be free, but hunger is something which you can associate. Is it only with the children or not? That's just my personal take. So I'm questioning the relevance of that particular statement. But all in all, I think a very, very good and strong take on your topic. Very good, Toastmaster Mrinal. And finally, our last speaker, Toastmaster Arijit. This Toastmaster Arijit is still in the room. I know someone who is there in the room who can convey it to Toastmaster Arijit, but Toastmaster Arijit doesn't look like in the room. But I will still give the comments for Toastmaster Arijit because I know the feedback is going to get passed on. So Toastmaster Arijit's topic was dinner with a historical figure. Now, Toastmaster Arijit is not in the room, I believe, but I should mention that this is a classic example of how we can improve in our table topics. Listen to the topic very carefully. The topic was dinner with a historical figure. The expectation here was you choose a historical figure of your own choice, and imagine a scenario, imagine a hypothetical situation where you're sitting down at a dinner table with that historical figure. It can be anyone, any historical figure. And what is expected from the speech is about, maybe you could talk about what you ate with the historical figure, the discussions you had over the dinner table with the historical figure. Did it come to blows? Did you have a hearty laugh? You could make up any story. I think this is one particular topic where you could be as whimsical as possible. And I think that you missed the mark a little bit, Toastmaster Arijit, there, because you talked about the importance of food. So I think that is something which we have to bear in mind, that When a topic is presented to you, listen to the topic very carefully and then put your thoughts across. But all in all, it's not easy to come up on the stage and deliver a table topic. I would like to appreciate you for the efforts that you put in delivering the topic. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Arijit. Okay, before I move ahead, I would like to call on my tag team players who are going to kill me because I've not asked for their feedback yet, their reports yet. So I will start off with my timer for today. Can I please request Toastmaster Sharnavo to come onto the podium and please present the timer's report?
Yeah, sure. So, good evening, everyone. Once again, so I'd like to share my screen to present our timer's report. So for the prepared speech session, Toastmaster Priya Kumari, she has taken a time of 6 minutes and 28 seconds, and Toastmaster Pramathis has taken a time of 7 minutes 15 seconds. And for the case of evaluation, Toastmaster Shataki had taken 2 minutes 39 seconds, and Toastmaster Asta has taken a time of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. And for the table topic session, all the speakers were on time, but except Toastmaster Arijit, he has crossed the grace period of 30 seconds, and he has taken a time of 2 minutes of 39 seconds. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sharnavo. I believe Toastmaster Savita was noting down the time for Toastmaster Sharnavo, if I'm not wrong. Toastmaster Savita, can you please mention the timing for Toastmaster Sharnavo's table topics?
Right. So I have it in my notes. I don't have a screen to share.
That's fine.
So Toastmaster Sharnavo had spent 1 minute 39 seconds in his table topic speech, and he is within the limit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Savita. And thank you very much, Toastmaster Sharnavo. I think I loved your dedication. You've put the report on the screen in an Excel format. And it's easier to see, especially when it's virtual, because there can be technical glitches for which the voice may get muffled, but at least you see the report on screen. So which definitely helped. Thank you, Toastmaster Sharnavo. Now I move on to my R counter for today. Can I please ask Toastmaster Tulika to please present the R counter's report? Over to you, Tulika.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today my report is Toastmaster Savita. She used a couple of times and couple of times. Guest Ahad, he was flawless. Tony was flawless. Toastmaster Veena, a couple of times. Toastmaster Priya, and couple of times. Toastmaster Swarnava was flawless. Toastmaster Arijit, 2 times. Once, once, but once. Toastmaster Dhruvadeep, a couple of times. Toastmaster Mrinal was flawless. Toastmaster Pramatish, there are a couple of short pauses. Toastmaster Pallavi was flawless. Toastmaster Satviki, couple of times once, and so 3 times. Toastmaster Astha, once, once, and but once. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tulika. Let's have a big round of applause for our R counter, Toastmaster Tulika. Toastmaster Tulika, I'm not sure if it's a problem at my end or is it with everybody, but your video had got frozen while you were delivering your report. So if this is a classic example of a technical glitch when the report is being presented, although we could hear you properly, but I would advise you going forward, please put your report on an Excel sheet, just like the way Toastmaster Sharnavo did, and show it up on the screen, because there can be network glitches for which your voice would not reach to the audience's ears and we would miss the report. Thank you for being so meticulous. Thank you, Toastmaster Tulika. And then comes our grammarian, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. Can we have Toastmaster Dhruvadeep to present the grammarian's report, please?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. This is the report that is in front of you. I won't take much time because in the interest of time, I have to keep it short. So I'll just go through the outstanding thoughts and quotations that were used in today's meeting. So firstly, Toastmaster Priya had used, you are contributing something like, make the best out of the worst. That was very inspiring. Toastmaster Azhar had used confront your fear and be the best. So that is what he meant by moving out of the comfort zone and facing your fears. Next, we have Toastmaster Mrinal, who had said, be hungry for whatever you do, behave like a child, and the result will be great. Stay hungry, stay foolish. So these are the quotations used by Mrinal. Toastmaster Arijit, in his tabletop speech, had used good food, think good. So these are some of the quotations that were used by the speakers today. And coming to my gems for today, we had used the word whimsical. So big round of applause for Toastmaster Savita for using it the most number of times. So she's the winner of my gems. And Toastmaster Rajeshri used the word once. So congratulations to him as well for using the word. And Toastmaster Priya had used the word in her speech. So kudos to you, all three of you. And that's it from my end. And back to a wonderful general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. Thank you for presenting that report on the screen, because I know we were running out of time. So if you couldn't cover anything, we could at least read it from the screen. So thank you for doing that, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. I think you missed a couple of gems. There were people who also mentioned the word of the day, like Toastmaster Asta did mention, I have heard, but her name wasn't there. But nevertheless, very well done, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep, on your report. Thank you. Well, with that, I now move on to our general role players for today, our Sergeant at Arms, our President, and our Toastmaster of the day, of course, and the table topic master himself. So I will actually start off with the Sergeant at Arms, knowing well that our Sergeant at Arms is not in the meeting, but I would request our President to kindly pass on the report to the Sergeant at Arms, please. The Sergeant at Arms, he started off, I really love the fact that he started off by mentioning the about the accident that has happened, the train accident in Orissa, and he requested people to observe 1 minute of silence. And that was very sensitive on his part to do that, and I think that was great. There are a few things which needs to be mentioned to the Sergeant at Arms. As a Sergeant at Arms, he needs to welcome people to the meeting, especially mentioning the meeting number, which was missed, which was later on announced by the president of the club. Second, the rules that the general protocols that are followed in a Toastmasters meeting, some of them were missed, like sex, religion, and politics should not be talked about in a derogatory manner, and we should keep our phones in silent or switched off mode. These kind of general protocols were missed by Sergeant at Arms. The disclaimer is not a mandatory thing. It is optional. If it's not required, you can omit it. But if you're showing it and if you're reading from the disclaimer, please ensure that you're not reading in a club area or division contest, and you should rather read it as a club meeting. So it was read as a club contest, and it is not a contest. So I think that these are the basic things which needs to be reminded to the Sergeant at Arms. And also the energy level, I think, was generally a little low in the meeting. He's the one who's starting the meeting. So the meeting should start on a high so that we can finish on a high as well. So please, as the President, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep, kindly pass on the feedback to Toastmaster Shatpati. Coming to yourself, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep, are you unwell? Because you normally have good energy level. Today, your energy was a little down, or perhaps you are wearing multiple hats today. So you are kind of really concentrating on too many things. So that's the only thing which I would want to highlight about, that the energy, if you could lift it up a bit. You had very good introduction with the guests. You talked to the guests and you ushered them into the meeting. Very well done. The only recommendation other than the energy part, I would say that come up with a good introduction for the Toastmaster of the day, especially because the Toastmaster of the day is playing this role for the very first time. So she will feel more energized or more charged up when she's playing the role. So have a better introduction for the Toastmaster of the day. So this is the only feedback I have for you. But all in all, thank you, Dhruvadeep, and especially thanks to you for taking up so many roles in today's meeting. Congratulations to you, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. I will talk about you again, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep, as the table topic master. To Dhruvadeep, the table topic master, you were brilliant. You did mention the rules and regulations. You did mention that the timings about it. You did remind people about the usage of the word of the day. Thanks to you for being the grammarian as well. So you knew very well what the word of the day is. So the topics were very speakable. I felt I was cursing myself why I took up the role of general evaluator, because I would have definitely raised my hand today for one of the topics, especially the topic which Arijit got today. I was really wanting that topic for myself. But very, very good topics, very speakable, very nice, very nicely done, Toastmaster Dhruvadeep. Congratulations to you for your table topic section. Now, the lady of the hour, Toastmaster Savita. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, before anything else, let's give a huge round of applause for Savita for taking up the role of Toastmaster of the day for the very first time. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Savita. And let me remind all of you, those who are not from the club, Toastmaster Savita is a relatively new member in the club. So for a new member to come up and take up the role of Toastmaster of the day, it speaks volumes about her, how courageous, how confident, and how wonderful she is. Toastmaster Savita, really, really hats off to you for taking up this role of the Toastmaster of the day. Very good. Now, I loved your theme, summer food. Like I said in the past, you are an encyclopedia of summer food. Next time I want to know what I should eat during the hot scorching summer, I will definitely contact you, Savita. So you really, really did very well on that. Good research, I would say. You had great audience connect. It's very important for a TMOD to have good audience connect. And not for a moment did I feel bored when you came onto the podium. You were having very good audience connect, asking questions to people, keeping everyone on their toes and engaged. Very good, Toastmaster Savita, wonderfully done. My only recommendations are regarding the process that needs to be followed in a Toastmasters meeting. And this should be learned, Toastmaster Savita. I know this is your first time, but these are things which should be learned. First, there would be guests or there would be Toastmasters who are attending this meeting for the first time, or they are very new to the Toastmasters world. So you should tell them that typically in a Toastmasters meeting, we have three sections: a prepared speech section, a table topic section, and an evaluation section. However, today we are doing it differently, and then you say today's pattern so that people know how it happens in a typical Toastmasters meeting. That was something which was not spelled out very distinctively. The second thing which I want to mention is there was a little bit of goof up in trying to call the speaker first or the evaluator first. Normally we call the evaluator first and let the evaluator give the objectives for the speaker, and then you introduce the speaker and ask the speaker to come to the podium and deliver the speech. So always the evaluator is called before a speaker at the very beginning. Okay, that is one thing. Second is, because you're preparing an introduction for a speaker, I would advise you next time you take up this role, at least have one line introduction for the evaluator as well, so that the evaluator also feels good that you have an introduction for him or her. So prepare that for the evaluator. And finally, when you are introducing the speaker, the way or the protocol that we follow in Toastmasters to introduce the speaker is speaker name, title, speaker name. So if, for example, the speaker name was Priya Kumari and the title was Ahem, you would have said Toastmaster Priya Kumari, Ahem, Toastmaster Priya Kumari. And then she would have started. That's the way we would normally start a Toastmasters meeting. So these are just the nitty-gritties of how a Toastmaster of the Day role is performed. I'm sure you will get there when you take up the role next time. And the final message is keep it crisp. You are the one running the show. Let's not have too much of conversation. Try to keep it crisp and let's move on from one event to another. These are the only recommendations. But like I said, Toastmaster Savita, as a first attempt, this was very, very, very good. A big round of applause to you, Toastmaster Savita. Now, coming to overall meeting, I think the meeting started 6 to 7 minutes late. I think we can improve upon that. We should start on time and we should finish on time. The time, according to my watch, is 9:11. I think we are way past our time. So one tip or one recommendation to the club: when you are planning a meeting, please plan it a little better. Don't have so many items in your agenda. Today you had 2 speeches, you had 6 table topics, you had a keynote speaker. Obviously it would have definitely gone overboard, and so it has. So please plan it a little better. If you see 2 speeches, then don't have so many table topics, or even remove the table topics if you don't need it, because you had 2 speeches plus a keynote speech in the meeting. It's essential we finish on time so that we can avoid people dropping off from the meeting. I think at some point we had 19 people in the meeting room, and right now we are 12 of us, which does not speak very well about the meeting in general. So let's keep these things in mind, but all in all, it was a good session. It was lovely for me to join back after a few weeks in today's session as a general evaluator. With that, I pass the baton back to the man who's worn so many hats and who's low on energy today, the one in the round neck yellow t-shirt. Please put your hands together for Drupadi Mitra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajesh, for that funny introduction. But guys, thank you so much for staying so long. And I think you have enjoyed. We started on a low note, but we ended on a high, I guess. And I hope you enjoyed, like, took back some message. And this is what our club is about. We are a family. At no point of time you will feel that someone is criticizing someone or someone is judging someone, at no point of time you will feel like that. We have a friendly environment in our club, and we foster a family environment in our club. So if you want to join us, feel free to join us. We have our meetings every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So please do join us. And okay, so the last thing which is left for today before I leave you guys for your wonderful dinner, Sunday dinner, is the award section. So we have 5 nominations on the plate, and the first nomination is the best role play award that has been done by PMOD, Toastmaster Savita, Toastmaster Rajesh as general evaluator, and me as the tabletop master. So any guesses who might have won?
Toastmaster Savita.
Savita.
Yes, Toastmaster Savita.
Savita.
It's actually the man who first said Toastmaster Savita. Toastmaster Rajesh. But don't worry, Toastmaster Savita, you were also brilliant today. So congratulations to you as well. Okay, so next we have the Best Auxiliary Role Play Award, and we have 3 nominations: Toastmaster Swarnavo, the timer, Tulika, the R counter, and me again as a grammarian. So any guesses who might have won?
Toastmaster Swarnavo.
Okay, any other guesses?
Mrinal, Toastmaster Mrinal.
Okay. Mrinal is not even taking part. So, okay.
You.
Yes, you are correct. So I have one. Guys, I can also win, right? You can take my name also. You can see my face on your screen. Take my name, please. Thank you, Veena, for taking my name. Okay. So next category is the Best Speaker Award. Any guesses? Out of Pramathesh and Priya, who might have won?
Priya.
Yeah, I guess Priya.
Yeah, you're right. Toastmaster Priya has won, but Pramathesh, don't be disheartened, because it was just 1 vote difference between you and Priya. So congratulations to both of you, in fact, but more to Priya because she has won the award. Okay, so the next category is the Best Evaluator Award. And any guesses who might have won? I think this is pretty easy.
Toastmaster Astha.
Astha, yes.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Astha, you have won the Best Evaluator Award for today. So congratulations to you for that. And finally, we have the Best Tabletop Speaker Award. And any guesses? This is difficult. Toastmaster Azhar, Toastmaster Lai, Toastmaster Veena, Toastmaster Swarnava, and Toastmaster Mrinal. Any guesses?
Azhar. He
Wow.
was the word of the day.
Wow, wonderful. First guess you got right. Pramatesh, you should be contesting a lottery, I guess. First guess correct. Toastmaster Azhar has won the Best Tabletop Speaker Award for today. So that's it. Congratulations to all the winners, and thanks to all the role players for taking the time out and participating, and thanks to all the guests and Toastmasters for coming to the meeting today. I know we are way ahead of time, but I want to so I'll just leave you with all for a wonderful Sunday dinner and not take much of your time. So thank you so much for coming today, and see you again next week, Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
Special thanks to Toastmaster Pallavi for joining us as the keynote speaker. Thank you,
Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us today and lifting the energy of the meeting.
Absolutely. And also thank you to Toastmaster Priya Kumari and Toastmaster Santosh. For those of you who don't know, Toastmaster Santosh is a member of One Cognizant Toastmasters Club, where Dhruvadeep and I and Durga started our journeys with. So thank you, Toastmaster Santosh, for joining us today as well. Thank you.
I have joined the session especially to hear you, Rajashri. Thank you.
I can raise my collar. I'm wearing a collared shirt today. So
you didn't like us.
It is
also there, right?
He actually messaged me yesterday about this, so he's not lying.
Yeah.
So Rajeshri,
from Pramatesh. Thank you, Pramatesh, for sharing with this invitation.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
thank you so
next
much.
time Santosh join us, we won't let Rajashri speak much.
Yeah, we'll mute him.
Yeah, so please, Pallavi, next time onwards, I want to see you as the general evaluator. Please give me a break from playing general evaluator, okay? Thank you, Pallavi, for self-nominating yourself. Yes, Drupadi, please note it down. Pallavi is the general evaluator for the upcoming meeting. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your
You
dinner.
are the district. You are the district runner-up. Can't compete.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, everyone. Enjoy your dinner, Sunday dinner. And happy rest. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.